because when you were on a firm standing ground, you were an asshole.
Right.
And so now it's better that they have you kind of, but there's something really cool about history where you're like, oh no, Japanese people ate Americans. Like, it's horrible to say, but that is true. That is true. And you can't deny it.
That they what?
They ate American soldiers. They ate their livers. They cut chunks off their back, threw them in a pit so the meat wouldn't swallow. But it's so horrible to say, but it's history. Like, you can't deny it.
Sure.
Isn't that crazy that Chimijima was an island right by Iwo Jima.
Japanese soldiers killed and consumed 5 American airmen. Wow.
Chichijima, it's a book I read, Flyboys, yeah. And those were like George Bush's friends.
And so what, these were pilots that crashed?
Yeah, look, it says this. They're all friends of future. The only one to evade capture was future President George H.W. Bush.
Holy shit.
He ran our country, and Japanese people ate his friends. And
I never knew about this.
And then he was like...
Being shot down, bombing raids, a tiny island 700 miles north or south of Tokyo. 8 were captured. The only to evade capture was future U.S. President, then 20-year-old George H.W. Bush. After the war, it was discovered that the captured airmen had been beaten and tortured before being executed. The airmen were beheaded on the orders of the Lieutenant General, Yoshio?
By the way,
Takayama?
Now that you've listened to The Real Dictators, you're going to fucking love to hear this. Because remember that guy, have you listened to the one about the Japanese guy, Toto?
No,
Real
not yet,
Dictators? No. It proves what a fucking ineffective cunt that guy was. Here's the deal.
This you heard about in an audiobook?
I read this book. And by the way, they're talking about these. There were tons more. Here's what happened.
What's the book called?
Flyboys. It is fucking amazing.
Wow.
But what is fascinating about this is I can't defend cannibalism, but I guess I can in this, is that these guys, that prime minister of Japan at the time, the one that instigated the attack on Pearl Harbor, who started World War II in the most aggressive way with the U.S. Like, what a fucking mic drop. Like, what a fucking, oh, I'm sorry. That is such a sucker punch. Like, literally, you're sitting there going, oh, shit, there's a fight over there. And some guy just come and jacks you in the jaw. You're like, what? He's like, no, you're in it, bitch. And you're like, what the fuck? That guy was a absolute moron, right? An absolute moron who couldn't even kill himself right. At the end, couldn't even kill himself right. Missed his fucking heart, right?
Really?
Fucking jackass. And what's great about history is knowing you can't get in trouble for saying this because it's true. That's what I love about history.
This is why you're embracing it so much?
What I'm loving about history is that you can't deny that fucking Lenin and Stalin were fucking mouth-breathing, window-licking morons who were just as bad as those guys that stormed the Capitol. That's all they were. That's what they were. They were revolutionaries. They didn't have it figured out. Stalin and Lenin did the same shit that Tsar Nicholas did. The same fucking shit, Tom. And killed the Jews. By the way, I'm talking way too loud right now.
Yeah.
But that's what it's,
you were really enthusiastic about that last part.
I'm obsessed. But Tsar Nicholas fucking started killing Jewish people, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" The revolutionaries came in, the Bolsheviks took over the government. We're gonna do better, and the first thing to do is start killing Jews also. And you're like, "What the fuck?" They didn't change anything about that government at all, other than they're like, yeah. We just won't call the rich people the elites. They'll just be us. I don't know what I'm obsessed with history, and it's giving me like a warm blanket.
This